G is Charlotte's most dangerous crew, no advisory podcast. Your boy C.O. McLean.
You're the boy next door, the dude from school to jerk at work. Patty!
Yeah, shout out to P Fine, shout out to Ash B, shout out to Merciless Guy Maker. Give me my goddamn paper. I gotta say it.
Oh.
I'm here pointing the papers, motherfucker.
You point at everything.
I point at the speaker.
This is lotion over here and everything.
Shout out to who else? Shout out to P Fine. Shout out to K Digital in the background. Shout out to Sid. Shout out to Welch. Yeah, I think that's that. Did I miss anybody?
E-Class.
E-Class. Shout out to E-Class.
We got a problem.
You know what I'm saying? We got a very special call-in guest with us that's gonna be calling in a few minutes. My man Wicked from Ghetto Mafia.
Ghetto Mafia.
You know what I mean? Hip hop group. Legendary hip hop. Well, you know, sometimes people throw the word legendary loosely. Sometimes, but you know, I would say in our generation, legendary hip hop group Wicked from Ghetto Mafia. All right, so I think is he on the line right now? Hello.
Yo.
Yo, what's good? We got my man Wicked from Ghetto Mafia. Let's give a round of applause for my man Wicked. One time. We're gonna have the hold on, these claps is man slow.
These Caucasian claps, B. Wicked. What's going on with you, family? We appreciate you.
What's happening, folks?
What's going on, baby? You can hear what's good?
Yeah, a little bit. We on?
Yeah, we on. We live.
All right, what's happening, man? I'm in here. Just Wicked. What's going on?
Ain't nothing. So let the people know, man, who you are, where you from, what is that you do, baby?
Man, I'm straight from the dick, man. This right after Ghetto Mafia, man, Wicked. You don't know who Ghetto Mafia is, man? Go Google it. Go ask your auntie, go ask your uncle, you know what I'm saying? Still for the kid to judge, man. I like to, you know, people say on the, you know, on the pioneer of the trap shit down there. That's the word on say. I ain't saying it, that's what they said.
The bull.
Yeah, I mean,
I hear you.
People get mad at me, you know what I'm saying? I started the chat, you know what I mean? But I ain't saying that what the people said.
So give us a little background on the Ghetto Mafia. Like, tell us about the group, and I know y'all from Atlanta, but tell us about the group and how y'all started and all that.
Well, we started, it was actually like 5 of us, you know what I'm saying? You know, Wicked, Gunshot, Shorty, and Vix, but over the years, we started maybe in, I can't remember the name of the group, but I got the idea from a rapper I used to go over his house named Eric MC Breed. He passed right now, IP Breed. And make a long story short, man, I be telling the story so much, man. Make a long story short, a partner of mine, Peter Holmes, he said, hey, man, I want to take you out to this rapper house. You know, I was rapping around the city, you know, saying, getting booed off stage. And it was just me by myself at first. I was MC Roddy B. And so he was like, man, I want to take you out to this guy named MC Breed. I've never heard of MC Breed. I ain't even gonna lie. I was like, you know, I was listening to Downtown. I was listening to Two Line Crew and Magic Mike and, you know, Raheem and, you know what I'm saying, that type of stuff. So it was like any other Atlanta kid. But also, I was heavily influenced by New York rappers. But anyway, man, he told me to take you out here to the Breed house. I get out now, come to the door, and I see the rapper, the DOC. Before he was with Easy E, was a rapper with Ruthless Records back in the day. The DVD now. It was before he got in the car accident. So when I saw him, I was like, wow. I put a kilo on readers all the time. He be like, you know, he think he heard me straight from the day, but I saw Kilo out at Breed's house. But of course, he was big-headed then, you know what I'm saying, because I was a little guy. I wasn't even wicked yet. I was hard. So, but anyway, I tell them that story. But I saw, man, I used to go back and forth out there, and from this man's house, I met Tupac. I mean, I'm talking about, you know, sleeping on couches together with this man. People be saying they know this person, they know the person I know. You know, so I'm talking about Buster Brown, the Bushwick, R.P. Bushwick, Scarface. Too Short used to come through here every other day. Jazzy Faye was living there. He was living there. He wasn't Jazzy Faye yet. But the list goes on and on with the EPMD, Redman, Method Man, met them all. They had the rim shop down here. Everybody used to come through Bree. I even had the R&B side. We had Bobby Brown coming through there. So I don't see these type of artists coming through there and networking with this man, MC Bree. I said, you know what? That's what I want to do right there for a living. Not to mention, I saw an $80,000 check. You know, that's the most money I had ever seen legally, and probably illegally at that time. Because I could have been no more than maybe 17. So that was the most money I had done seen illegally or illegally at one time right now. I said, so you know what, if this man can make this kind of money, you know what I'm saying, just talking, I always felt like I had to get the gas. So I said, you know what, that's what I want to do right there. So from that right there, Breed, and let me say something about Eric MC Breed, in case y'all know. Anybody listens to me, go Google this man's music, man. This man was a pioneer in Atlanta, but because he wasn't from Atlanta, people don't give him his props. I see him throwing up every rapper that is in the world. But let me tell y'all, as Eric MC Breed, Andre Rise, and Too Short, these were people that cut corners for the city. And I sat there and I witnessed it. But MC Breed, man, when we first started, we thought we were polished. We wasn't polished, but he was the type of guy, and he's better than me when it comes to this. He would, you know, instead of, you know, shutting the doors, he would be like, you know, hey man, he would find a nice way to tell you that you suck. But he still would always deal with you. He would always open the door back for you, gave you plenty of chances to build your craft. Right. Me, this day, if somebody run up on me and they start rapping and it's trash, you might not get a second chance with me.
Yeah, first impression is everything,
you was trash then, you trash now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
facts.
you know, and so that's how I am. But this man was never like that. He always, you know, listen to you for the first time again. Mm-hmm. And so he was instrumental, man. Let me tell you a quick story, man. I'm going to give it back to y'all, man. Eric MC Breed sent us down, so he was wanted to deal with us tonight. So he sent us down to Eric Sermon's rim shop. Well, when I come to Eric Sermon's rim shop, this Eric Sermon, for people that know, he was when he picked me. He probably don't even remember this. Redman and Method Man may not remember this. And Keith Murray, he was there at the time. So we come down, Breed was debating whether to deal with us or not because he kept saying he saw a vision that it was a new sound and new style. But like anybody else, he was skeptical. Like people were skeptical about Straight from the Deck, and everybody raps like that in the chop style, the 1-2 flow. So he sent us down to his rim shop. We go rapping for Eric Sermon. We go to rapping for Eric Sermon, Mr. Man, Red Man, Keith Murray. Well, in the middle of the rap, I felt like when it got to me, Eric Sermon walked out. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm a fuck, man. You know, man, just walked out right in the middle of the rap. He didn't even let me get to my best part. You know, I had that one line that come up that I thought I was killing him.
You finna kill him.
So he go. Then Red Man left. Keith Murray wanted to. I'm like, Keith Murray, I don't know why you leaving. You ain't even in the band yet. What you walking out for? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, the only person that stayed was Method Man. And Method Man started up smoking blood. He was like, so Ghetto Mafia, huh? Okay. Well, if it's a mafia line, it's only two of y'all.
Oh, shit. Typical Meth.
I said, Meth, it's not the two of us that rap. We represent the ghetto, but the mafia, man, is a ghetto mafia, man. It's all around the world, man. I said, you're in the ghetto mafia.
Right.
I get it. Well, I guess I am in Ghetto Mafia. There's a little story, man, about, you know what I'm saying, about what kind of the corners we went through. Come to find out, though, Sermon hit Breed later on and told him that we were dope. He said that it was different. It had a down south, you know, thing, and he didn't really know what to do with it. But he said it was dope, so I thought I'd just end on that note right there, man. Moving on.
Nah, I mean, you know, that's 27 years in the game, man. So of course you're gonna have a whole lot of stories to get out and to say, you know. So I'm glad you chose this platform to come and give us, you know, some classic stories. So I mean, being that you are, you know, 27 years in the game, for the millennials and stuff that's out right now, like, can you just let them know like what it takes to have like longevity in the game?
Well, I spoke about this the other day, and you know, I'm not one of the type of rappers where you have a divide and rap right now with old school and young school. Old school think that the young ones are whack because there's no originality in rap. It's the same sound with one long mixtape. I ride down the street the other day, I'm listening to a song by Future, 5 songs later. You know what I'm saying? I tell my folks, I said, man, this Future jam, man. He said, man, Future on 5 songs ago, that's a little baby now. So, well, they all sound just like. So, my point was, back in the day, man, the only problem I have with new school rappers is this here. is that when a Public Enemy song came on, they probably don't know who that is, or a Goody Mob, or Outkast. You knew that was that group about to rap before they ever even said a word. Public Enemy didn't have to say a word. When that track first started, you say, that's Larry Founder to get ready to come down on that track. If you wanted to hear some soulful type of stuff, some conscious music, you knew when that beat dropped, you say, I don't care who's going to rap on it, but I know CeeLo Billy them finna rap on this record right here. Well, right now, it sounds like everybody now is and it's not, it don't sound like it is true. Everybody is trying to rap exactly alike. But then there's a conflict of interest. If you sound like what's going on right now, DJs will quick to tell you, man, I can't really play this right here because it sounds like everything that's on. Right. But then if you don't, oh man, I can't play this right here because it doesn't sound like what's out. So, we got to tighten that screws up to find, what's okay and what's not. Do we need to sound like everybody, or can we be ourselves? And right now, it seems like we can't really be ourselves. Now, back to the question that you really asked me. You asked me what advice would I have for a young artist. Mm-hmm. My advice to a young artist would be, as young artists are great because they have taken up the music, they cut out the major labels, smart kids, that connected directly with the fan base. A lot of us rappers got beat back in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s by major labels because they were holding all the fans. So that's holding the gold. So that I can cut you off from a million people and then you're silent. But these young kids found a way around that. So I commend them on that. All these things that I will say, hey man, be original. When you're telling these stories about when you're riding around with your stick and you're jacking folks and you're slapping out females and everything you're doing this, well, you need to tell a part about you're going to go to jail and you're going to be in there with 40-year-old men that ain't had no pussy and
they're going to be raping your ass. That's what they got.
And you're going to be going to jail or to prison with men.
Facts.
See, tell that part of the story. Mm-hmm. When you're out here chasing, artificial stuff, it comes with a price. Because it's, like I tell somebody, you run up to my house and you come up in my property, I'm paranoid. I sleep with a shotgun. Mm. I be hoping.
You don't catch a charge, Wiggy. Don't catch a charge,
coming up in my house.
Don't catch a charge out here, B.
Right. So my thing is, man, tell the whole story, man. When you're telling these kids to go do lean, you can die.
Right.
When you're telling them to run up with people's stuff, you can get killed yourself.
Facts.
And that will be my only advice to them, man. Keep it 100. If you're going to tell a story, tell the whole story. And don't be afraid to be yourself. Other than that right there, I love a lot of the young music. That's my favorite rapper. I argue with anybody. I got all these examples against the week, man.
Who you said was your favorite?
I said, I wasn't like the artist before me.
Who you said was your favorite?
Young Thug.
Young Thug. Okay, Thugger.
That's what I was gonna ask you, Wicked. That's why I was gonna ask you who you bump.
Nothing he be saying, but I love it. It sounds good.
Right.
I was gonna ask you who you bump in your car, dog. Who you find yourself bumping on a regular basis?
Thugger. As he just said.
By myself, man. I'm bumping the homie out of Scottsdale, man, Joe Green right now. You know what I'm saying? Of course, because we got ties, man. R.I.P. Field. I'm bumping the baby. I'm bumping everything y'all bumping, man. I like Moneybag. It's nothing Moneybag. I have never heard him do a whack verse. In my opinion. Maybe he took that verse down that you heard. But I've never heard the man say something that I just be like, man, Money tripping. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of young girls. I like Kodak. I like Kodak, and then I like old school artists as well. So everybody that try like I like them, and I feel like, you ain't gonna make it to the top unless, there's very few Millie Vanilli these days. You got to, people like you. I'm pretty wide open and sensible when it comes to music. There's not too many people out there. I like the girl right now,
Lizzo, big booty Lizzo.
Yeah, Lizzo. Yeah, on that basketball game.
Right. So I want to.
So I mean, there's a lot of the female, and shout out to the females. The females now, I mean, I'm talking about running the game, and they're not just running it, but you know, I hear guys say this all the time. You know, I kind of heard Jermaine referencing before, kind of like, you know, sliding them a little bit. I think Jermaine was doing it on slight. I think he just, you know, sometimes as old school we be stuck in our ways and we don't want to listen to folks. But I like Cardi B, and I don't think that, you know, of course she's a beautiful girl. Of course, she may drop it like it's hot. Hell, Beyonce dropped it like hot, but the talent is there. The girl can rap better than most men.
Right.
Period.
Right. So
and I stand with her alone on that right there. You can't fool me. A pretty face, a big butt. I don't care. If you're not tight, you're just not tight.
Facts.
But I feel like a lot of the females out right now, they talking. If I sit there and listen to it, they're talking. So the game right now, I think is in good hands. You know, I'm not a scoring old school rapper, man. I made my mark, man. I'm a legend, and I'm original. And so, you know, I always be able to drop stuff there. If you only gonna be able to get my sound, my thing from me, it cannot be duplicated. Period.
So with
you gotta come to Ghetto Mafia.
Okay. So in you saying that, you know, you're a legend, you know, you made your mark and all that. One of the first things that I saw when I Googled Ghetto Mafia is that I guess an interview that you guys did a couple of years ago where you said that y'all started or y'all originated trap music.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah,
So
we absolutely did.
Those big claims there, boss. Them big claims, nigga. Those are big claims right there. You started trap music? What year was this?
I absolutely started trap music. You can go back to 1994. I started yelling, swinging, rock, summer trap. This nigga step up, they call victim to the ground.
Well,
you showed me somebody that was saying it before me. Not the one who you when you first started listening to it and it became proper to you. If we went by that theory, that Michael Jordan started basketball to me.
Oh.
See, that's a theory that people put to stuff. Well, when I first started looking at basketball, it was Michael Jordan. But now there was a Dr. J before that.
Right, exactly.
I didn't see Dr. J. My dad used to tell me about it. No, son, that was a guy named Dr. J. Jordan got a lot of stuff from it. Dad, when you hating. You know what I'm saying? But my claims, these ain't claims, these are facts.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying that I was the first person that started gangster music. That was different. That was the ghetto boy. I looked up to Scarface still. I looked up to Snoop Dogg. You know, those are my OGs. Easy E, MC8, Spice One. These are my even the guys out in New York was doing hood music, but everybody either called it. Everybody that you gonna see anything before them say anything about a trap. No, they would say the track. Then you have people saying the spot, the hood, the whatever you want to call it. And most people are talking about, you know, gangster. Most people they were talking about gangster stuff, rock, dope dealing, you know, prostitution. They're talking about stuff like that. So therefore, that is a form of trap music. But I'm talking about getting that money, the word trapping. When I used to say the word, I named the kid of the day. I hear on the radio all the time. Big jockeys and stuff be talking about, yeah, we live right here coming from the dick. And I got the same person. Where did you, did that come from? Oh, man, I don't know. I think we're good. No,
it's you.
Because you know what? So, we used to say that word the dick, people didn't know what we were talking about.
Right.
They were like, what are they even talking about? Straight from the dick. Y'all talking about from a car dick? What are y'all talking about? We're talking straight from the killer, DEC.
Facts.
That's what's up.
Listen.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know that.
Okay, that nigga dropped some history.
You dropped some knowledge just now. That's what's up.
He dropped some history.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, that's why I asked you, dog.
And I tell you that right now, I'd be rich to the dead kids and saying they in the deck, man, spoke me from the deck, and they don't know where it came from. It came from, we get booed on stage in New York about this same type of stuff. That's why I have the passion and the attitude that I have about stuff. When a person looks me dead in my face, let me tell you something. I said what I said about I started trap music, and I can send you video over there with if you think it was Tim, if you think it was Gucci, if you think it was you put a microphone in their face. I'm doing raps for these kids. They were kids to me.
Yo,
Okay.
we done woke the OG up.
Right.
He like, listen, pay respect, pay homage.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, where were you or what were you thinking or saying when the debate was going on between T.I. and Jeezy and Gucci, like, about who started?
They all know what it is. They'll see me. I mean, it's just how fake rappers is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying a person is fake in every aspect or area of their life. I'm only saying they fake when it pertains to this particular subject right here.
Gotcha.
Because we all do sucker shit every man then.
Right.
So that's what I just charged it to them. But the bottom line is they all know. They all know. Blank period, and if they started right now, not one of them get on here to debate me about they started level trap music and have a straight face with it. They hope it just goes away.
Right.
I think what they're doing is they're trying to keep it in between. I get it. Trying to box out what the real. I get it. I get it. You don't want me eating at the same restaurant with you.
I don't know if niggas necessarily trying to box you out. It's just niggas just forget, and that's the problem I feel like with a lot of these new rappers.
You can forget, but when you talk right to them, when you had shows with them, and they look you in your face, they ain't forgotten it, and they go right back on the radio the next day and start kicking this crap.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
You can curse.
Yeah, you can curse, man. Don't say crap. Don't be saying crap.
You
You ain't gotta say crap. Say what you feel. Say what your chest. Yeah, say what your motherfucking chest, nigga. Say what your motherfucking chest.
On a Sunday, too.
Oh, man, y'all should have told me that 20 minutes I'm trying to keep it. You know what I'm trying to do.
I feel you.
Man, let me take crap or something. But yeah, man, that's just garbage.
This is a new word.
And they all know that instead of paying homage, and it ain't nothing, man. Look, let me tell y'all something. And the kids that are listening, but it ain't gonna cost you nothing.
Right.
You don't have to get good love. You get them and say, hey, man, I listen to Ghetto Mafia. Any street nigga was listening to Ghetto Mafia in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Southeast. It's period. You ain't forgot shit. You 8-Ball, MJG, UGK, Ghetto Mafia. Period.
Period.
Alright.
Hey, listen, let's get to the music right quick, because I know you done fucking popped a blood vessel in your head just talking about that shit. So I know the last,
it's normal for me. It's probably you talk, man.
I feel you.
We're in the barber shop.
Right. So the Elephant in the Room, that was the last release in 2016. So what new music going into 2020 that you guys are working on now, or are your guys working on any new music right now?
Me personally, what I've been doing, I'm into a lot of other shit that I can't really even talk about. I don't like to speak on stuff because then people play against you.
Right.
So I'm doing a podcast, definitely mess out the Pistol Board. But right now, what I have done is I'm featured on a few records. I'm going out here and doing my part with these records. I have a record out. Well, I don't know if it's even out yet, but Big Liam and T-Mo Goody, it's called Self-Destruction. Back in the day, they had a song called Self-Destruction out of New York. It featured all the New York artists, and what it was doing, it was about the violence type of song. So T-Mo Goody came to me. Basically, he's got Pastor Troy Bone Crusher, Yin Yang Twins, Big Boy in there, Andre 3000, all the Southern legends on one track, and it's a positive record.
That's what's up.
People always make excuses why not to play his card. It's called for Stop to Saying Something. Pull it up and have a video out to it. We all in the video. And we just started really just pushing this record right here. I will tell any DJ that's out there that's listening to me, now it ain't the format of an 18-year-old child, what they doing right now on the dance floor. What I call it your vegetables. when we was young, we'll sit up and eat candy all day, but our parents made us eat vegetables. I don't care if we got to trick us or whether you got to bribe us to eat it. But we need our vegetables in the community when it comes to music.
That's
It's okay to give me booty dropping songs, give me booty dropping songs or all that kind of stuff, but it ain't gonna kill you to slide in a song from all the DJs. It's not gonna kill you to slide in the vegetables to the kids what they want to hear.
Get the vegetables.
Some songs they need to hear, and that's one of the records.
I think you just coined another term, Big OG, man. Some hip hop vegetables.
Facts.
I don't think nobody ever said that before, OG.
I can't hear you. What you say, bro? You sound like you so far like in the bathroom or something, man. You ain't talking to me while you should be.
Nah,
We right here. Can you hear? You can hear us, right?
Can you hear me?
I hear you, baby. You said, man, I can hear you clear, baby.
What about me?
Everybody else sound like they talk, like they sitting on the phone. What you say now?
Damn, I forgot, nigga. I forgot what I was about to say.
Well, before we let you go, can we get to know you on a personal side, sir? We talked about all the music. We talked about how big of a legend you are. Where's your wife? Do you have children? Are you trash?
Just answer that lightly, don't you?
I'm not married right now. I mean, nobody really have me. I'm still wild as hell. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Would you want to marry this right here from what you just heard? So I mean, right now I'm not married. I do have a son, and that's why I'm out here on this campaign for him right now. He's actually down the road. He's doing 3 years for armed robbery.
Oh, wow.
Y'all pray for him. Gerald Jackson, that's my baby boy. And that's why I know, I said, when we got out here, you know, he run around with a gang and talking all this all kind of stuff, man. And now he don't find himself down the road with grown men. I can't do nothing for it. I can't break in jail and get a nigga off your ass. So that's what I tell all these kids. While y'all here running your mouth, you know, disrespecting your parents, dropping out of school, acting like you know everything, man. Hey, you will be down the road with grown men. That's what my son is right now. So you know, God has it. And right now, that's all I'm kind of focused on, man. Doing some music and trying to help these young men get off the couch. If they won't listen to me, you know, then they won't listen to nobody. I don't take the time. I don't slap the heads off. My reputation speaks for me. You know what I'm saying? If you won't listen to me, then you won't listen to nobody.
Right.
Facts.
That's what's up.
That's what's up, man. So one more time, let people know where they can find you on all social media platforms. Wicked.
Hey, you can find me at the real Ghetto Mafia. That's GHE Mafia on Instagram, but that's kind of all I'm working right now. I mean, all that other stuff, man, Twitter and all that, I got that stuff up. I've never done a tweet. I can't understand what a tweet is. Anybody knows how to tweet and what to do, hit me up, DM me at the
Send them instructions and shit.
I think it's an OG for real.
Hey, listen, hey yo, we gonna have somebody send you some instructions and shit on how to work the social media platforms.
He an OG triple OG.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I be tweeting myself.
Hey yo, man, we wanna. Hey, yo, we gotta, when you come to Charlotte, man, we're gonna have to continue this conversation. You know, we're gonna have Ange set it up. Shout out to Ange, you know what I mean, hooking it up. So we wanna get you in the studio and actually pick your brain a little bit more, man, because I know you got a whole lot to say. We ain't got a whole lot of time for you to say.
Absolutely. Before I leave, man, shout out to Angela Covington, man, for putting this together, man. Shout out to y'all, man, everybody up there in Carolina. You know, support the record. If you're not supporting the record, then you support me personally. I didn't get into it real quick. The song I have, Never Change, featuring Fabo of B4L. Y'all check that song out, man. Pass it on. If you don't like it, man, pass it to somebody else.
Right, send it to the inbox.
If you can for the people. Huh?
Yeah, have Angela send that to us.
Yeah, send it to the inbox. We'll throw it in on the show.
I will, my brother. So, hey, that's what it is, man. When I come to Charlotte, man, I'm coming straight to y'all, man. Y'all
come through.
I'm coming. Like, it's free, y'all. I'm coming to you now.
And next time, don't be when you come on, curse. Say motherfucking shit, bitch, fuck. Say all types of shit.
Don't say curse, just tell the shit. Be liberal.
I'm thinking I'm dealing with regular radio because yesterday was late. I couldn't come yesterday. And, so, I didn't know, I enjoy cooking. Shit.
Man. Hey, yo, man, let's get right up for my man, Wingzza, Ghetto Mafia, man.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for listening, and we appreciate it.
No doubt, man. Be easy, bro.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, it's my man Wicked from Ghetto Mafia, man. You know what it is, man. Legendary Global Non-Advisory Podcast. You know how we do, man. So, yo, man, we're going to take a little break. We're going to be back with our Artist of the Week. I don't know who the artist is right now, but I edit that out, and we put that up in there, all right? So it's your boy, Silver Clay. We'll be back in a minute with our next special guest, Wingzza, all right? Bang. Cheers, No Advisory Podcast. We are back. That was our Artist of the Week. Artists, if you want to be an Artist of the Week, just email us at noadvisorypromo@gmail.com. That is noadvisorypromo@gmail.com. We got Shaw over there licking her mother-loving fingers, because you know why? We got a very special guest who bought some goodies in the motherfucking building with us. I'm not even going to say the name. I'll let him introduce himself. Let the people know who you are, where you from, what the fuck you do.
What's going on? This is Larry. I'm the founder of Wingzza. We were a very popular food truck here in Charlotte. Now we're a sauce and seasonings company.
Okay.
We brought our flagship product, mambo sauce.
Yes.
Today.
Let me tell you guys right now, like, for the guys that's watching, y'all see that, but for guys listening,
Shit hitting it.
this shit hitting. Like, if y'all hear us mumbling and stumbling and shit, that's because the sauce is hitting, these wings are hitting, they're on point. So, Wingzza, let the people know, where do you get the name, how did that name come about? That's a unique
Wingzza.
name.
Yeah, so I always love pizza and wings. My degree is in marketing, so I worked corporate marketing for a long time, and I know the importance of branding your food, so when I started my food truck and had the restaurants and all that stuff, I wanted something that people will remember, but that summed up what we were serving in one word, so that's how I came up with Wingzza. Wings and pizza.
Wings and pizza.
Yep.
I kind of almost figured that. Shit come out of my mouth and shit. I hope you didn't get that. That's how good the shits are. But I kind of figured that I was like, okay, maybe that's pizza shit, but I didn't want to sound too cliche-ish and say, yo, that's what you're thinking about. But listen, man, this sauce, what's in this sauce, man? What's in this secret sauce?
I can't tell you what's in
the sauce.
I know, that's why I asked you.
But mambo sauce, for anybody who's familiar with the Maryland, D.C., Virginia area, you've probably heard of mambo sauce. If you went to an HBCU, I'm sure it was some people there from PG County and D.C. that was like, oh, they ain't got no mambo sauce, y'all need to go. If y'all come to D.C., you need to try mambo sauce. That's the signature sauce of that region. I'm trying to take it national.
Right.
So when I moved here to Charlotte and I started my food truck, I wanted to make mambo sauce the centerpiece, our Big Mac of our food truck.
Right.
A lot of people here hadn't had it. They may have heard about it, but it had a good brand name, but nobody could associate the flavor with it. So it did really well for us. We have been on Food Network, been in Jet Magazine. We won a show called Food Court Wars on Food Network.
Okay.
And the mambo sauce was
that's when you have like all the food trucks y'all are racing, doing different challenges and all that.
So that's great food truck
Okay.
racing. Food Court Wars was actually a competition where if you win, you get rent-free in a mall food court for a year.
Oh,
shit.
awesome! Congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate
Word.
that.
Yeah.
Wish y'all got claps and shit.
Right.
But we won, and we actually opened our store up in the Valley Hills Mall in Hickory.
Yeah.
But mambo sauce was always our Big Mac item. So you could get it on pizza, you could get it on the wings, you could get it in wraps, on shrimp. And that's when I realized that was bigger than the truck.
Right.
People loved it. They wanted us to start bottling it up, so we were selling it from the food truck at just as fast of a clip as we were selling the pizza and wings and stuff. And I've kind of, it's evolved over the years into a business now that we, operate from our website. You can order bottles of mambo sauce, but the thing now is that I want every restaurant that sells wings to carry this flavor.
Right.
All right, so it's starting in Charlotte with that movement. And originally it was me trying to bring a taste of DC culture to Charlotte, but because of the success of my food truck, mambo sauce kind of became a part of Charlotte culture.
Right.
So there's maybe about 10, 11 restaurants in Charlotte now where you can go in and order the mambo wings.
Oh, shout them out. Yeah, where they at?
Yeah,
If people want to go there.
You can get it at 7th District, I know has it. Seafood Connection, I know they have
Okay.
it. Nappy Chef.
Oh, shout them
has it.
Nappy.
Yeah, Nappy Chef has it. Y'all messing me up because I don't want to forget anybody who is selling it. chef.
Point is, it need to be in more spots.
It's everybody.
It need to be in more spots.
Yeah, and the goal is, just like everybody has to have lemon pepper, everybody has to have a buffalo wing.
A
Everybody needs to have a mambo. Yeah, everybody has teriyaki, garlic, parmesan. We're trying to get this category on everybody's menu.
Right.
So it's at the U.S. Food Chef Store now, where in Columbia and Charlotte, where a lot of chefs, caterers, small business restaurants shop. And we just out here grinding. So we want Onyx to pick it up. We want like
that would be awesome because they wings are already good.
That get into the wings for real to pick it up.
So, like I told you, this was my first time ever having mambo sauce. Always heard about it though. I watched even a special like on Vice about mambo sauce in the area or whatever. So, but even when I watched that special, mambo sauce is huge. Like it's very important. You can't fuck up on your mambo sauce, right? So then when you're saying that you're trying to get it into all of these chains and all of these different restaurants, you worry about the integrity of the actual sauce and you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want someone to come from that area and say, this is not it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, my product is authentic. I grew up in the DC area. I grew up in Prince George's County, which you can see on our label on every bottle, proudly representing Prince George's County, Maryland, around the world, right? So this recipe is actually a composite of all my favorite mambo sauces that I used to have growing up.
Okay.
A little bit of Danny's in there, a little bit of Kenny's, Johnny's, all the places that people know. Every carry-out and small soul food restaurant has their own recipe. It's like Memphis or North Carolina when it comes to barbecue, right? Everybody has their own. To me, this is the most appealing to everybody.
Okay.
Right? It has elements that people like about everything. So now what I want to do is be this food service supplier.
Okay.
So we're building the company out where we want them to either have to buy it from us, they want to sell it, or we can license it. So that's the goal.
Right.
And right now,
that's awesome.
yeah. So we try to engage a lot. That's how I know who's serving it. We try to engage and get them to understand the style, how to serve it, and what it goes well on, so that if anybody from DC should be able to walk into any of these restaurants in Charlotte or in Atlanta or in Maryland that carry our mambo sauce and say, wow, how'd y'all get that here? There's people from DC everywhere.
So what's been the toughest hurdle for you in getting to where you at right now?
I think being a black business owner, there's not a lot of capital readily available for people to invest in you. Right. So you'll see certain businesses where they get a spark and they get some momentum, and then all of a sudden, like in Charlotte, I'll give you an example. Like Viva Chicken, or Sabor, you know what I'm saying? Small businesses that before you know it, they explode 10, 15, 20 locations. That's because generally they've gotten funding from somewhere, or somebody said, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
We want to invest.
Right.
And then you can kind of pop it up quickly. But as a black business owner, a lot of black folks don't have that angel investor capital, but we have the brand strength, right? So, that's why to me it's important to, sort of build this from the ground up, the sauce business into black wing businesses. Because that gives us a competitive advantage over Buffalo Wild Wings or Wingstop or places that they don't have mambo sauce. So we get that market share there. But then when they see that all these black wing businesses are selling it, they're going to want to, in order to keep up, pick it up. Y'all remember it was a time every place didn't have lemon pepper wings. Or if they did, it was trash. Like it was like a really off-putting version of it. But that started in Atlanta. Lemon pepper wings started in Atlanta, and it just became synonymous with them. And then everybody had to carry it.
And now it's national. Exactly,
That happened with the Barbalo thing too, because everybody kind of like Buffalo, and then they started barbecuing it, and
And then you'll see a honey hot everywhere.
Henny, a lot of people are doing Henny.
There's a lot of Henny wings.
Because Nappy was doing
He had Henny hot, right?
Cousins got a Henny hot wing.
Ties has a Henny wing.
Ties got the Henny hot wings. I went to a place last night. I can't remember the name of it, but they had the Henny hot wings.
Ties wings and things
it has the Henny. That's the first one. Do they have mambo at Ties as well?
They got it very early on when we were trying to get into the restaurant business, but I don't know if they still
have it. Okay.
Because it was like
visit that.
We were trying to figure out how to supply restaurants. For a long time, I was driving around delivering.
And
You
right.
had to know me
Right.
and call me and say I need a mambo sauce, and I would come in and drop it off to you.
Now, that's exclusivity right there.
Yeah.
It is.
You know, that
I wanna know, like, for the people, like, for the entrepreneurs that's listening and watching, when you say you have your sauce in stores, right? So some people just generally think, okay, I have to go to the store and put my sauce in and they're gonna sell it, right? So just educate the people on what does it take to actually get your product into a store.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is, fine tune your product, because everybody has a sauce, everybody has something that they think is really special and that can go, right?
Right.
Once you fine tuned it, you've tested it, you know that it's great. Here in North Carolina, NC State has a program that you can actually get your nutrition facts label, and then you can get what's called a process letter, right? So let's say you have a barbecue sauce. You need to put in an application in this NC State program. You'll have to tell them what's in it. It's like a non-disclosure agreement, so they're not going to share it. But from a chemistry standpoint, you have to give them the recipe, tell them what it is, what you want to do with it. It's like a $200-300 fee. You send it up there, and they test it. So based on that recipe, they'll give you what's called a process letter. So in order to make this sauce and legally sell it on shelves in the state of North Carolina, and once you get licensed for North Carolina, you can sell it nationwide, right?
Okay.
To get it on shelves, you have to make it in this process. So it might be, hey, once you combine the ingredients, you need to boil it to 160 degrees, can only package it in glass, you can only package it in plastic, whatever that process is. But that's your power, because then you can go to what's called a co-packer. So co-packers are the ones that produce sauces on a mass scale. So then you can do 10,000 bottles of your barbecue sauce by just handing them that letter.
Okay.
Wow.
Right, so that's the process. That's how you make it.
Right.
You put this, and this. You bring it to a boil. You mix it here. You do it there. They know how to make it based on that North Carolina letter.
Right.
But once you have that, man, you just licensed to go out there and sell.
Right.
That's
You hear
what's
that,
up.
people? Let's say you want to get in business.
It's
Get your
not
shit right.
as tough as you think, but learning your
You
process.
have to learn, right?
Yeah, understanding what's going to go and what's going to be appealing on the shelf.
With those people, right, the distribution people right there, after that, so you gotta pay them to make those bottles, obviously, right?
Yeah, so
little key piece right there. Like,
right. So you gotta pay them per bottle, and you gotta figure out what you want your margin to be, right? So as an example, most people try to get their costs down to $1 to $2 a bottle. So if you get them 10,000 bottles, it might cost you $12,500, $1.25 a bottle to make it. And then your goal is going to be to sell it for $4 or $5 or $6. A lot of people sell it from their own websites. That's kind of the out the trunk method that assures you most of the profit margin. I'm going to give you a quick little lesson on how grocery store retail works, right? So let's say I pay $1.25 a bottle. I need to sell it to Harris Teeter for $2.50 a bottle in order for it to be priced at $5 on the shelf. Right. So they have 100% markup.
Okay.
So, if you need $3 a bottle or $4 a bottle to make it work for you and make it profitable, then that's when you start seeing products on the shelves. You notice like the smaller companies or local businesses is where them sauces will be $6, $7, $8.
Right.
Yep.
It kind of prices you out because Kraft and Sweet Baby Ray's and
$2
there's
bottles,
$1.50 a Texas Pete, so why
mm-hmm.
would you buy this hot sauce versus the cheap one?
Right.
And even them stores that have their own store brand affect you as well. So that's why, to me, the best business is to sell it direct to the consumer, right? So whether you're at a farmer's market or whether you do pop-up events, you do things that, or sell it from your website, hand to hand as much as you can. But for me, I think food service is the thing that a lot of black sauce businesses haven't gotten into. And that's where Texas Pete and Frank's and Sweet Baby Ray's really make their money.
They make their money,
Yeah,
a
because,
lot of restaurants use Sweet Baby Ray's.
Yeah, those wing flavors and those different things are going in the restaurant, and it's a copycat business. Once one restaurant has it, everybody kind of has to have it to keep up.
To keep up, to compete.
Yeah, because it's like if you fall in love and you love garlic parmesan wings, you're not going to the place that you know does not have them.
Right.
So everybody sort of has to have them, and that's where we're trying to nudge our way into the food service business. And I only learned that from being on the food truck. having a food truck and buying all of these sauces on a regular basis, it just made me look at the business from a different angle.
So it's just safe to say you still got the food truck up and running in Charlotte.
No, I sold the food truck.
You sold the food truck.
So I closed the food truck in 2016.
Okay.
A lot of people still think it's open.
Had me hype me. I was like, all right, tell the people where you gonna be getting so I can get it.
So I sold the food truck and I focus 100% on the sauce business now. I'm doing a little bit of both. So that's a good point about entrepreneurship, finding that balance in life, right? So when I opened the store up in Hickory, I had my son, who maybe he was a month old when that store opened, and trying to, you starting a family, you running a restaurant, a lot goes into that, and it's a lot of stress on you. You got to provide, right?
Right.
So you're in that position, being an entrepreneur and trying to figure those things out. It's difficult. So I found my balance in product, and I still work full time. So I work in the marketing department at Central Piedmont Community College now, and then I do Wingzza mambo sauce.
That's smart, brother. You can find some talent in there. You need to take off a little bit. Find some cheap talent in Central Piedmont. I see you.
Yeah.
So smart, brother.
So ideally, right, we came in here, we munched on the wings.
What's right? Wings, baby.
Ideally,
Smash
other than
the
the
wings.
what's the best fit for the sauce, other than the wings?
Oh man, people send me stuff on Instagram all the time that they're using it on. I think second to fried chicken. So either it's wings or fried chicken in general. I would say seafood, fried seafood. So fried fish, fried shrimp. A lot of people use it on burgers, hot dogs.
Hot dog?
Hot dogs?
Yes, man. In place of ketchup, what I got listed on here, fries. In DC, you're just getting wings and fries, right? Smothered
Maybe
in
put it all
sauce,
over,
right?
yeah.
People use it on tacos, salad dressing, because it's kind of sweet.
This say me 3, Philly.
Potatoes.
You see it, right?
Her elbow getting burnt out.
Everybody says this about every sauce.
She is killing the wings, my nigga. Over your shoulder, nigga, it was a massacre.
He used to
I hope that's a magic pan, nigga, and it's some shit under there.
Bottomless,
Nigga,
right?
As long as I got some for seconds, I gotta let
No,
Nope,
nigga,
it's
no.
on.
No, it's not. They being dramatic. It's some wings still in that pan. I used to get his wings when I worked at AXA.
Okay.
And he was at the parking lot. Been had the mama. Shut up.
Yeah, because I wanted to know, ideally, because normally people get sauces, they say wings. Put on wings. That's why I want to know
Oh yeah.
what's the other
You can
alternative.
put it on anything, man. Really. I encourage y'all. So I brought y'all a bottle. I encourage you to take it home.
Yes.
Just throw it on some stuff and see how you feel
I'm
about
gonna
it.
fuck that up tonight.
Tonight.
Some shit on tonight. Fact.
And I'm throwing it on the gram while I'm throwing it
There we
on.
go. That's what I appreciate. Y'all got the special treatment because she knows. She said she used to get our wings from the food truck. Everybody loves these wings. You can't get them no more.
Right.
Like that. You can't. The food truck not open. I did these in our agriculture kitchen. Yeah, where we produce our sauce. I did these just for y'all.
Thank
That's what
you.
I'm talking about,
man. So y'all can
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. It was delicious.
Yeah,
Thank
this shit
you.
was sitting.
Yes.
So what's next for the mambo sauce? Like, what's next?
I mean, we want addition to menus nationwide. So I really want like Wingstop or Pizza Hut or Wild Wing Cafe or one of these places to pick it up.
Right.
Where we can spread the word a little more quickly because when they add new sauces, they have vested interest in it being successful.
Right.
I got an idea. I don't know
Yeah.
if this idea
works.
Because where you could get like franchises, right? I inquired about some wing franchise. I gotta hit them back. But say if you acquired a franchise, I want to know, what would the legalities be if you was able to sell your sauce by owning a franchise? Like say if you bought a Wingstop franchise, would you be able to sell your sauce in that franchise?
Exclusive.
I would hope so. I know that the franchise owners have a little bit of flexibility on what they want to do, and regionally, it's important for it to make sense, right? So that's why, for me, trying to get as many places to carry mambo sauce in North and South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, DC, you have a case to where that makes sense.
Right.
If you have a franchise and add it. But it's simply, I'm trying to place it in restaurant retail spaces to where, you know, you can just go buy it just like you would buy Frank's or anything else for your restaurant.
Right.
You know, and it's no hurdle for you there because it's
Gotcha.
already legal to put in that space, you know.
So, how did you get into this business? So, because you went to college, as you say, you have a degree in marketing and all that. So, how? Because you know, there's a lot of discussion now. We even had the discussion about the value of college and all that. You know, a lot of people feel like there is no value in it in getting a degree and things, but you were able to get your degree, and then now, even though you do have a job, you know, a corporate job, you're still an entrepreneur.
Right.
So, is you come from a family of entrepreneurs, or is this something that?
No, not at all. You know, I've just always been a person that loved food, and I'll tell you like this, right? College actually helped me see the value of food in life experience, right? So anybody who went to college can tell you exactly what they used to eat regular in college. Right?
Some bullshit.
Right. They tell you what they used to eat, or the spot that everybody went after the parties, or you know, things like that.
Right.
And it was this place called Stokoe's. So I graduated from Morgan State University in Baltimore. In Baltimore, and it was a place called Stokoe's. They used to have these chicken boxes and these 10-inch pizzas. And man, I'm telling you, after every party, we used to be packed in there. They closed at like 4 a.m.
Right.
And it used to be crazy. And we used to always joke like, man, we're putting these people's kids through college.
No, you didn't.
You know, for sure, you know.
Right.
And it was like one of those things that when I got out of school, you know, I read this book. So Russell Simmons wrote a book called Do You. And I always knew I wanted to get into business for myself, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. And Russell Simmons' book, it was, to boil it down quickly, it was basically understanding what you respond to, what you pay attention to when you're not being paid, or just what interests you in general, walking around in life. And for me, it was the restaurant business. Was something that I just always focused on. So I started getting into that place where, you know, maybe that's my purpose, saving money, let me open a restaurant. I was doing pizza and wings on my own anyway, because I, you know, bought a couple books. I was trying to save money, so I wanted to learn how to make good pizza dough, good pizza sauce, good wing sauces, stuff that tastes like what I like to buy. And I felt like in Charlotte, there was nowhere where you could get good pizza and good wings in the same spot.
Right.
It was either like a banging pizza and the wings were just through the oven or something
baby
ducks,
like that.
or banging wings, but they didn't have no pizza. So I said, all right, I want to do a wing and pizza spot. I started putting myself into that space. I subscribed to this magazine called Pizza Today as part of that process. And in the back, they had this company called Pizza Trucks of Canada that was like building pizza trucks. Now this was 2000.
Building pizza trucks?
Yeah, trucks that you could just have a full pizza oven on. This was before food trucks was on TV. Anybody was doing anything. And I was like, damn, you know, what if I did a pizza and wing truck? I could afford that. I can't afford a restaurant, but I could do that. And I just started building. And I left my corporate job. I was working for a marketing consultant firm then, 100%. Built my food truck and got out here on the streets of Charlotte. We helped influence a lot of the trucks that came behind us. Y'all remember when the food truck wave like really hit? We were early on that, and you know that's how I got there. You know, it's just one of those things. Just trying to follow with what comes naturally to me, and because I had seen this sauce work, and all my sauces really. So the mambo sauce is kind of the thing I'm trying to kick the door in with. But eventually, I would like to have the full line of sauces that we had on our food truck. Because they were all scratch made, and you know they were all unique in their own way.
Right.
But just following what I feel, you know, and this is the thing that I could not put down, even though I closed my food truck and my restaurant. For a lot of people, it would be over.
Right.
It was just over. I'm going back to work, back to corporate. I tried it. I went high with it. I kind of crashed down with it. But this is what stayed alive. So.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's a beautiful.
It is.
That's a beautiful story to hear.
Got food truck pioneer in the
right
building
there.
with us too.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
We gonna put the claps on.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
And look, I heard y'all had who was that from Ghetto Mafia on there?
Yeah, the
Wicked.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Bruh, I've been looking for I used to love 2 songs from Ghetto Mafia, for real. It was a Ghetto Mafia song and then another one called On the Grind. But you can't find the versions from the videos on the streaming services. You know, I put my little playlist together. And to this day, I'm like, you know, my down south playlist, I want to put those Ghetto Mafia.
Yo, we might be able to connect you with him and get you that official version.
Right.
We got connections.
Just
y'all
on the
same. Y'all on the same. When I heard that.
Yeah, y'all on the same episode too. We gotta be able to link that somehow.
We can do.
We got to connect. We'll link that.
OG triple.
Right.
That remember everything nobody else remembers.
We'll be like, yo, we gotta get Ray Man and Meth Man. Like, yo, remember this story?
Like, who?
Because he was real distinct with it. It's all good.
Anyway.
Let the people know, man, where they can find you at on all social media platforms, though, Al.
All right. At Wingzza on Instagram. Wingzza Truck on Twitter. But Instagram is the main one. And then Wingzza.com if you want to buy a bottle of mambo sauce. If you know, even more importantly, if you are in the Charlotte area, and you know somebody who works in the kitchen at a restaurant, you know a restaurant owner, tell them they gotta get mambo sauce.
Nah, this shit is slim.
It was.
Anybody that tries it will tell you it needs to be in the building, so we're just trying to push it from there, man.
Right. You know what you need to do? You need to come up with like a little jingle.
I know, man. I've been trying to get,
you know, like a little bit of mambo in my head.
Right.
Yo, we should flip that. See?
If y'all can help me get a local artist in Charlotte to do one.
Yeah,
let P5 do it. Yeah, you need a jingle.
I did Mr. Three's jingle.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's what I need.
Yeah, and use that shit. Use that little bit of mambo, but don't take, just take the melody. You know, don't take the little beats and nothing like that.
It gotta be a little more hip hop than that, though, man.
You want it to be hip hop?
Well, hip hop, you wanna do that?
I got you. It's a collaboration. Somebody gonna do it.
It's gotta be something for the culture, man. That feels like it. So y'all see my label here, right?
Yeah, this shit is. I like this. This shit is dope.
Martin.
I thought it was some shit. Yo, I thought it was some Martin stuff. I was about to say, man,
Martin
that
Fowl,
nigga
Martin
is awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
the purpose of that is that when these chefs and restaurant owners and people walk through that restaurant store, they're gonna know that that's somebody from the culture that made that.
Right.
It will speak to you in that way.
Right.
As opposed to just something that's faceless, cultureless, and you don't know who's behind it or what.
Right.
At least this, you know, somebody from our culture is behind it,
Right.
and it's gonna speak to you.
Right.
So,
Yeah, if I do the jingle, I just want to talk my shit on there.
hey man,
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Just talk some shit.
So what other sauces you got? You got the Calypso sauce. What you got?
Now we got a Wingzza buffalo sauce. We
Okay.
got our own lemon pepper seasoning.
Okay.
We got a sauce. I haven't named it outside of this yet.
So
but-
you went traditionals.
Yeah, but on our food truck we had a sauce called the Cam Newton. Back when they was going to the Super Bowl and all that good stuff. Maybe 2 years before they went to the Super Bowl. And people used to love that Cam Newton flavor, man. It was like the garlic and herb ranch flavor. I haven't named that yet for our product, but and we had Charlotte Hornet, which was like a honey hot. But we got 11 sauces that are scratch made that might be similar to some things that are being offered, but it won't taste like ours.
Right.
Yeah, but right now it's all about the mambo.
All about the mambo.
All
Mambo
about it.
sauce. Let's get a round of applause for my man.
Appreciate y'all.
Get that mambo sauce.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
For blessing us.
Cause we're gonna take a little short break because I gotta get some more wings.
Ain't no more wings, B.
Yeah,
Cancel
some
that,
more
B.
wings.
Yes, it is.
Shut up. It's some
Done,
more wings.
B.
We'll be right back. No advisory.
Done.
Cheers, No Advisory Podcast. We are back. We still got my man L from Wingzza in the motherfucking building. Still slapping on these motherfucking wings.
We have to keep L on because
Right.
we have a very important
Very
discussion
important
to
discussion
have
going on right now.
before we let you go officially.
Before we let you go officially. So Petty B down the building. But you know, the barbecue talks, the gatherings, and everybody talk about the wings.
Right.
There's always a debate. What is better? The drums, right? Or the flats?
Or the flats.
I'm a drum guy. We're gonna go around and I'm a drum guy, you're a flat guy.
We already had this discussion.
We
It's
did.
all flat.
But we wanna since we got the
So we got the expert in the building.
Yes.
Petty, real quick.
Drums or flats?
Why wouldn't you want chicken that got a bunch of meat on one side and a handle on the other side? Why wouldn't you want chicken with a handle on it?
So you like flats?
I like drums.
He he's saying why wouldn't you?
I said why wouldn't
Chicken with a handlebar on it with the fat part of the chicken on the other side. I don't understand. put your thumb and your finger through the flat, and poke the fucking chicken out on the other side.
You don't eat a flat right.
Break the meniscus and shit. Like it's too much. It's torture.
I just ate this shit with
So,
one hand.
It's like cracking a sunflower seed.
For me personally, I kind of like a 50-50 mix in my box. I like a few of each, but I will lean if it was no choice, I would rather have all drums.
Yeah, all drums.
I would rather have all drums. But I'm saying though, having the truck and the restaurant.
People love flats.
Flats. Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you the real truth.
Here we go.
White people love drums.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Black people love flats.
And I wouldn't be surprised that
most
he
niggas like struggle.
He love white people. So.
Most black customers.
Niggas like struggling. They like
And it's to the point where that's why they started charging you when you want to get all flats. They might charge you a little upcharge or something like that.
Right, they give you a little 25
It throws off
cents.
the balance of the rest. See, you got a case of wings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And all the flats is gone.
Right.
You give somebody like you all drums because that's what we got left.
They spaz
And
out.
I'm
Pissed
pissed.
off.
Yes.
So that's why you start seeing them
Bring them
charging
shits to
like
me.
it's $1 extra to get all
Right.
flats if you want all flats. But yeah, flats is, I think, is more popular for people who care. Like 70 to 80% of people just say, let me get 10 wings high.
Oh yeah, right,
with
right,
ranch.
right.
But the people who actually care, they getting all
All
flats.
that. That's a fact.
Hard.
I like how you did that. You appeased everybody. You said that you
Because
like
he
the
has
drums.
great
I like that you said
Yeah.
that. I like that.
He's a marketing.
Yes.
You like drums, Swan?
The whole box is drums.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's why I
And that's
feel
a
the
both
flats is robbing you of meat, in my just personal
Right,
opinion. It robs you of the meat. You got there's not enough meat on the
Drums,
drum.
drums usually bigger.
Yeah.
Let me hear why you actually like flats.
I don't know. I just always just like that part of the wing. Even when if I have a whole wing and I break it apart, I always eat the drum first because and I take my time on the flat.
So do you break the flat apart or you eat it all
It
the meat
de-
off and then?
It depends, right? It depends on if it's like a fried wing or if it got the sauce. If it got the sauce on, I'm putting the whole joint on
Okay,
out,
yeah,
you know,
then pull
kind
it out
of
with
twist
the
it.
two lumps.
Exactly, I do that. If there's no sauce on it, then I just kind of bite through it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a science to this.
And let me tell you, one time my wife bought some like a whole pan of like chicken. I ate all the drums. She was pissed. She's like, you ate all the drums and left all. I'm like, no, it was like 40 flats. She was pissed.
Yo,
Right, do a flat. Fucking flat. Back, bastards.
Flats.
Flats, yeah.
Flats.
I think
Man.
the drum's just a man thing.
Yeah, no, I think flats is a women thing. Y'all complicated.
Yeah, this
Y'all like
two
to fucking,
bones is a little more
y'all like to
complicated.
manipulate shit.
Right.
So y'all slow. Okay. Y'all slow.
No, we just like more meat. You know what I mean? Like more meat on our bones.
Go on the road with your meat.
Like
Go
more
on.
meat.
He like
I
his
think
meat.
you just like wings because it come with 2 bones.
I don't get it.
I'm trying to get that to. I was like, well, plus
They tried,
It
but
got 2
whatever.
bones. It got 2
Go ahead,
bones.
El.
One thing with the dipping sauces though, right? The drum is kind of big, so when
You can't
when you
dip
get
it
low
right.
on your cup,
You gotta pour it
it's kind
over
of
it.
hard to get the rest out of
Exactly.
the corners, but the flat.
You
when
could just
break
dip that
it,
all
you
and
can
slide
kinda
it all the way
around
around.
the cup,
Exactly.
you know
That's a good point.
Yeah,
I forgot about
get
that.
the most out of the dipping sauce with the flat.
That's a fact. A drum, you gotta hold it. You gotta pour the sauce on it to get on there right. And flat, I don't gotta do that.
I mean, I'm just biased. I like my fucking drums. I would take the dipping sauce and pour it over my drum. That's it.
That's what I'm saying. That's difficult with a flat. I can just dip it and just stir that motherfucker with the chicken. You know what I'm
This
saying?
is the typical male, female shit like that. Because I mean the wing for the wing. Fuck the sauce.
Right.
I mean, the sauce. Hopefully the sauce is on the wing. But I'm not here for the fucking ranch.
So can you cook outside of chicken?
Yeah, I love to cook.
Okay.
I love to cook.
Master of culinary
It's
arts.
therapeutic to me, yeah. Whenever I'm stressed out, I know cooking makes some people stressed.
Right.
It make my wife stressed. She don't but for me, when I'm stressed, if I cook a meal, it'll
You
calm me
good.
down. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's
Same.
up. All right.
Alright.
So we had a little discussion. We had to get that out.
We had to
I don't
do
think
it, yes.
we found the
I mean,
the definitive answer.
the definitive answer in the room today,
Drums,
flats,
yeah.
is flats beat the drums.
And he had very good reasons
He
as
did.
to why.
As
Yes.
to why. But I'm
Absolutely.
still biased, so I don't care if you can use the flat for the dipping sauce. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. I just want to get my drums. I will leave. If you bring a pan, I'm gonna leave your whole pan full of flats.
Just on the flag.
No.
So what's the
flats.
best wing place you've been to in Charlotte?
one?
That's tough, man. I can't give you one. Cause they all my friends. Like I'm trying to.
No, I'm not trying to get that. I need your top 3, not based off friendship, but based off the texture and the crispiness and the
You trying to get that
size
man
and
in
the
trouble.
sauce and all that of the wings.
I think Cuzzo's Cuisine got a good wing.
They do have good wings.
I never tried it. I gotta try it.
No, they do, and they have the red velvet waffle to go with it too. Yeah, that's
Oh,
banging.
Cuzzo's?
Yeah.
I like.
Right, Cuzzo's is good.
I mean, I like the wing at 7th District.
I haven't been to 7th District.
And I like, honestly, I like Wingstop.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that's not a
Yeah.
Charlotte, chain, but it's consistent and it's always good.
Every Wingstop I go to is young college kids working in there. I can't, my anxiety, I'm ready to curse everybody out.
Yeah,
I can't-
it's a Wingstop is kind of, yeah.
I'm not, that's not for me.
My best friend.
But they
came
got the
from,
best app though. Like they
To
have
order,
apps that
so
you
I
can
can just
order
go ahead and
go
pick
in
it
and
up?
pick it up.
Okay.
Oh, I never used that. My best one came from like a Chinaman spot. Some place we ordered out here. This shit was exquisite. Y'all was at the crib. What you have to say with Elliot? Yeah, Elliot bought some wings over. And them joints was crazy.
I'm weary about
You like them hard fried wings.
I don't know where they get it from.
Nah, it was just good. If it's good, it's good. If it's
Yo, I consider myself a little bit of like a food connoisseur a little bit. Sports page got a Cajun wing that's just phenomenal. Sports page.
Why that sounds so
Sports page.
familiar?
It's local. It's like it's right down Mount Huntersville Road.
I feel like
I'm
I'm
gonna
in
have to
there.
check that out.
It's Cajun wing. You can't get that nowhere else.
Okay.
You can only get that flavor there.
Alright.
And then this is Penn State bar I go to now uptown. It's called Fitzgerald's.
oh, Fitzgerald's, yeah.
And they garlic parmesan.
Ooh,
like it be like
Fitzgerald's got some
dripping
wings.
down and the
Okay.
cheese be dripping down.
It's
on it,
one
like-
right across from one BAC. That's one I used to go to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that
I'm
shit
telling
good.
like that's another level wing. When you open that joint up, you just be staring at them like that's
Man,
crazy.
y'all need to do a bracket.
Oh, a tournament bracket with wings, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. I think we might do that shit.
Yeah,
We might
because it's
do
gonna be
a tournament
legit.
bracket.
Ours is gonna be legit. It's not gonna be just. That's what I was gonna say. I know you say because when you hit out with Cuzzo's, I was like, no, this ain't gotta be a just black joint. We just looking for the best wing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like wings from everywhere, man. I mean, I go everywhere for different reasons, depending on what mood I'm in.
Right.
Just like pizza.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, you want that?
Pizza. It's only New York pizza, and that's it. What do you mean?
That
Explain.
ain't
I
it.
mean,
Where do you even get that at?
Hey,
New York pizza, good
There's
New
no
York
good pizza out here.
It is. Giacomo's, Tony's is not that.
No.
what about
Yeah.
Da Vinci?
Da Vinci's is good. I was just Da Vinci's is
That's
like
like
number
a
2.
store
Cheese
bought
tastes like
wings.
Tony's.
So what you think
No,
about?
it don't.
What you think about Ben's
It
and
does.
Noni? Anybody ever eat Ben's? Oh.
Godfathers.
No. No.
Which-
Like it. Wow.
Which one is that?
Pizza joint?
Yes,
I feel like I know which one that is.
Like
They give you a
Oh,
big
Benny's
ass.
Canelo.
Benny's.
I'm sorry, you said Ben's.
I'm sorry, yeah, Benny's.
My
It's
bad.
like a
Benny's,
big
that's what
ass
it is, and it's
pizza.
a
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
I keep hearing about Benny's.
Yes,
I've never
I
been.
know.
And that's
Benny's
what
is
I
good.
keep hearing about.
Is that in Noda?
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, I keep hearing about
It's so
it.
good.
It is good.
Well, let me tell
Da
you.
Vinci's is where it's at.
Da Vinci's to me would be my first choice.
Like most authentic New
For
York. They're
pizza?
from the Bronx.
Da Vinci?
Yeah, they're from the Bronx.
Okay, I got
I'm
it.
gonna tell y'all this though. When Wingzza was open, Food Network magazine named our pizza the best slice in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
Food Network magazine.
Well,
They
you
did a
didn't
thing-
say that at all.
You need
Yeah, they
to
did a thing called 50 States, 50 Pizzas. And
Mhm.
they chose the best pizza in every state. And we won for North Carolina.
That's
Oh,
and you went
that's how
against Da Vinci's and all that too, or like what? All of,
Anybody, not just
Really?
Charlotte, anywhere in North Carolina. But
Yeah.
that's how we got on the Food Network, on the Food
On
Court
the-
Awards.
Okay.
Hey, yo,
That's what's
Al,
up.
you gotta whip it up one time.
One time.
One time, B.
Cause I need to
I'll bring
know.
y'all some pizza.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta share your
Let us
gifts,
know some
brother.
love
Yeah,
sauce
you're
on
from
something.
New York.
I know
You're
it's
kinda, you might want, New York style.
That's
Ours
what I
is
like.
more of a hand-tossed style kind of vibe. More similar to Mellow Mushroom.
Okay.
But ours is better than theirs. too.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck what it is.
Yeah, so
Bring
like,
that.
We sad.
Yeah, I
want-
like
we
one
want the
a little
best of
flat,
anything.
a little crispy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all need to bring me on for all the food topics.
We got
Oh, we got you.
We can
want-
get into that.
We got you. We want to do like some monthly, type joints. We want to start getting into.
That's
You know,
dope, man.
so like we could do like a healthy joint 1 month, food joint 1 month. Just to give the people, a little diversity and shit. Feel me?
Yeah.
So you can end with
Yes.
Mambo sauce on.
give the entrepreneurs
Mambo
just a
sauce
piece of
got me.
advice
Yeah, I'm like burn ends and
before
shit.
you go. Something to hold on to.
Shit give me itis, Al.
If you believe it to be true, in your heart and your mind, you know, that what you have is special, stick with it. Don't listen to anybody else that's telling you it's not, it's impossible what you want to do. Just stick with it. You know, I didn't go to culinary school. My food experience before I started my food truck, that was like, I mean, we was out there getting it. We was popular when our food truck was open. The only food service experience I had before I started that truck is I had worked at McDonald's for 3 months when I was 16.
In high school, right?
My first job.
Right.
But, you know, I just believed that I could do it. And I took a lot of bumps and bruises trying to figure it out.
Right.
But, you know, I'm still in business. Only because I believe in this product. You know,
That's what's up.
You know,
That could
don't
be
stop.
applied to everything.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
just stick with it if you believe in it.
From
Wingzza, man. I think you got something. I appreciate you coming on the show.
Facts,
for
man.
sure, dog.
Thank you.
Yes,
man.
thank
I appreciate
you.
it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
All right, man. We're going to end it off like that, man. It's your boy, C.M. McClain.
Girl shopper.
And the boy next door, the dude from school to jerk at work.
Yes, man. No advisor, motherfuckers. Bang.
Mambo.